Happy fall, wonderful art students. I know it is not that cool outside, but we are going to celebrate anyway by doing a picture of some fall leaves with warm and cool colors. Your first step, you will have a leaf template and a crayon, any color of your choosing. I'm going to use black because I like the way that it stands out and pops in the pictures. Then you are going to trace your leaf template 5 different times on your paper. Be very, very careful and precise while you are tracing today. You want to make sure that you get every single curve and line just perfect. Tracing means that you are going to carefully copy these leaf patterns by following the outside edges of them. And if you happen to miss a line, it's okay, you can go back and draw it in. Now I'm going to speed up the video to super speed motion so you can see this thing when it is finished. It is also okay, students, if your leaf is too big and it hangs off the edge of the paper. Don't overlap your leaves to trace them. Let the leaf come outside of the paper. Next step here is to add line designs to your leaf. You can do any kind of lines that you want to. You can make it look realistic like an actual leaf. You could do patterns or different types of shapes, zigzag lines. You could do wavy lines, any kind of line to fill up the inside of your leaf will do just fine. When you are finished drawing your leaves, your next step is to paint them. We are going to use a paint called Tempera paint. This Tempera paint is dry paint, so you need to get it wet by dipping your paintbrush into the water and then placing the water on top of the circle paints. This will get it wet. Then you can start to paint on top of your leaves. Remember, warm colors will go on the inside of your leaves, cool colors on the outside. Anytime that you need to get more paint, dip your paintbrush back into the water to keep your paint really saturated with water. Now, here's the trick. With this painting, you can't use just one color inside of your leaves. You have to use 2. So I encourage you to try different color combinations. Maybe yellow on the right, red on the left like I am doing here. Try to come up with a color combination that nobody else would think of. So while you have to use warm colors, red, orange, and yellow inside of your leaves, you could come up with different designs for the way that you paint these things. Here I'm going to show you how to mix 2 colors together on your paper. Remember, we cannot mix these colors together on the palette, but we can mix them together on the paper. So I'm going to get a whole lot of red here, paint it down, get a lot of paint, and then I'm going to really clean out my brush well so I can get yellow paint and start to paint it down. Now I have orange on my paintbrush, so anytime I need to get more yellow paint, I really have to clean my paintbrush off well. Continue to paint all the way towards the top, and you can see how my color changes from red to orange to yellow. Give it a try. Next, I'm going to play around with what happens when I paint the entire thing red, but then I add yellow lines right on top of where I drew the black lines. I love to see how these colors blend together on the paper to create new and beautiful mixed colors. Okay, now that I am done painting my leaves, it's time to paint my background using cool colors. Remember that the cool colors are blue, green, and purple, but take a look at your palette. All you have available for cool colors are blue and green, so that is all you can use here. I, for the sake of time, chose to only use the color blue in my background, but you have the option to use green as well. But be careful about doing anything too crazy in your background because you want these leaves to be the star of the show. These are really what we are looking at. They are the focal point, which means they are what the eye gravitates and naturally looks at when we look at a painting. When we are done, you're going to walk your painting over to your grade level drying rack. Then you're going to walk over to the chalkboard by the door, write down one thing that you learned in class today on a post-it note and stick it with your grade level. Now, if you have time after that, you have the option to do a free draw. Paper will be at Hobby Lobby.